I didn't think we'd be saying her name again. Galain Maxwell. You know, the woman who helped Jeffrey Epstein traffic girls, children, to rich and powerful men. She's been convicted. She's in prison. And she should have faded into the background, which, you guessed it, was all wishful thinking. This week, the Deputy Attorney General of the United States, who just so happens to be Donald Trump's former personal lawyer, shows up at a prison for 2 days of private interviews. So now we've got to ask, what the hell is going on? All right, here's a breakdown. According to the Washington Post, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, again, the same guy who used to represent Trump, traveled to FCI Tallahassee and sat down across from Ghislaine Maxwell for 2 days. Not some junior prosecutor, not a field agent, the Deputy Attorney General. Now that doesn't happen unless you know she's got some names to give. And she did. Her lawyer says she gave them everything. More than 100 names connected to Epstein's operation. No Fifth Amendment, no dodging, no hedging. She laid it all out. Now Maxwell was convicted in 2021 and sentenced to 20 years in prison. So why is she suddenly being treated like a key witness in 2025? Well, here's why. The Epstein case isn't over, not by a long shot. Because the real story, the part we still don't have, it's not about Epstein and Maxwell. It's about who else was involved, who was protected, who flew private and walked away clean. The government's been dragging its feet for over a decade now. Blanche shows up personally to pull the truth out of Maxwell. This isn't some noble pursuit of justice. It's a power move, and I don't trust the people pulling the strings. So let's talk about what Maxwell is doing here. Her team is making another legal push. They're claiming that the old 2007 plea deal that Epstein got, you know, the one the feds cut in secret without telling a single victim, it should have protected her too. That's their argument. You promised not to prosecute us, and you broke the deal. It's a long shot, but you know what's not a long shot? Cozying up to a DOJ run by a guy who used to cash checks from Donald Trump. And she's setting herself up for what comes next. And this is where the alarm bells really start ringing. Maxwell's lawyer told the New York Times on the record that while they haven't asked for anything, she would welcome clemency. Now, look, I've been around long enough to know how this game works. You don't say that unless you've already tested the waters. And when Trump was asked if he'd consider pardoning her, he said, and I quote, "I haven't thought about it. I'm allowed to do it." Then he added, "This is no time to talk about pardons." Now that's Trump speak for, we're already talking about it. So, let me spell it out for you. The woman who helped traffic teenage girls to some of the most powerful men in America just sat down for 2 days with the Trump DOJ. And now there's buzz about a pardon. That's not justice. That's a get-out-of-jail-free card because she knows where the bodies are buried. Now, I've been in rooms with people who thought they were untouchable. People who thought their position or their bank account meant the rules didn't apply. And let me tell you, when they feel the walls are closing in, they'll do anything to cut a deal. Maxwell is trying to deal her way out of prison. And Trump, he might just let her. That's not tough on crime. That's not law and order. It's not draining the swamp. That's corruption, plain and simple. I'm Michael Fanone. Stay loud, stay dangerous, and stay free.